All right, welcome back, Vol fans. Glad to be back. It's been quite a bit since we last episode. With obviously some weather-related issues, possibly last weekend. But
Yeah.
for those that were here on our last episode, you might recall I had coughed before we come in to this and and to the episode. Threw my back out a little bit.
Yeah.
I made it through the episode, but about an hour and a half later, I was in the bed. I went about 11 days, Bob, before I could stand on my own.
Yeah.
Um,
You was pretty bad off, Tim.
yeah, it's the worst I've ever had. So I'm hoping to get through this episode seated, but if I stand up, you'll know why it was that. Uh,
Yeah, that's a pretty bad situation there, Tim. Felt pretty bad for you. Let's hopefully you don't cough today during the video.
I hope not. It was either a horribly tough cough or I'm getting old. So I'm pretty sure it's probably the cough.
Yeah, cough sounds right.
Uh,
um,
but it beat me up, kind of like something happened last night that we're going to get into.
yeah,
We had another disappointing Kentucky loss. Second time this year, just unexplainable choke job. Um, Also, going to talk a little bit about the Lady Vols softball team.
right.
Strong start, and the baseball team. Bob's going to be getting cranked up this week
Yep.
against Nicholls State. We'll get into all of that, but let's start with the worst first, Bob. And that was a another blown lead to these Kentucky Wildcats. Um, and I'll hand that off to you because it's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Remember, guys, to like, subscribe, comment. Please definitely leave some comments. We enjoy the feedback. As far as the game goes, Tim, I'm starting to think I'm not a big fan of Mark Pope as a coach, but I feel like his offensive system, does not mesh too good with our defensive system because they seem to run those screens and we try to switch. And I mean, I've never seen so many wide open, easy layups. I don't think I've seen that under a Rick Barnes
We
coach
did
team.
get lost a lot on some cuts underneath the basket. Uh, as many, like you said, uncontested layups as I can recall in a while under Rick Barnes. Uh, that was a disappointment to say the least. But I mean, Bob, this is a tale of two halves. I mean, we'll probably start off a little bit about the second half to start with, but we definitely have to get back to the good part before we can't forget the performance by Nate Ament. Uh,
Oh yeah,
but we'll start with the bad. There was plenty of it to talk about.
oh yeah. There was. You know, man. Where do you start, man? You
Well, let's talk
start.
about the missed layups because
Yeah,
we could talk an hour about those if we took time. Uh,
we had missed layups. We had passes that probably shouldn't have happened when we're 4 foot from the goal. How about just going ahead and shooting
take
the
the
ball?
shot.
But I felt like we played not to lose, Tim,
Well,
and I hate that mentality. And I'll even say this: I think had we not lost the previous game to them, where they come back 17 down, I think we win this one. I think we played scared. Uh, we was very tentative in the second half. Uh, and it just goes to show what kind of team this is, the floor and the ceiling of this team. First half, we look like a team that could go to the Final Four, and second half, we look like a team get put out in the first round by anybody.
well, second half team, it looked like a team wasn't making the field. Uh,
Right.
let's talk about this, Bob. What was it, 2 of 13, 2 of 15 from inside, probably 3 foot,
2 of 15 in the second
something like that.
half by the post player.
By our bigs.
Yeah.
Um, this team, great rebounder team.
Yeah.
Even when we're playing bad, we're a great rebounding team. Um,
And
but
at times, our bigs looked great offensively. I mean,
Yeah, I've seen.
Carey at times looked. I mean, he looked very good. And Estrella looks very good at times. Brown even looks very comfortable at times. Uh, but they sure didn't yesterday. And Alpara,
Never looks good.
never a great offensive player, but honestly, you could tell he wasn't 100%. Seemed like to me.
No, he wasn't good. I mean, he wasn't healthy last night. Uh, didn't even give you the normal defense that he gives you, and that's the reason he's out there.
Yeah,
But we were so gun shy to shoot. I mean, Carey Bob played 20 minutes, 0 shots on the basket, 2 rebounds. You know, at least Brown was like 1 of 6, I think, but at least he had like a dozen boards, so he was active.
I could be wrong on this. Very well could be wrong with this. But we usually won't shy about giving our opinions about stuff on here. But Barnes is a tough coach to work for. I mean, everybody's always said that he is on you, and sometimes I feel like that pushes players,
Some players respond and respond well.
and some don't. You know,
Some get ground to dust.
yeah, they do. I feel like some can't handle the pressure between the game itself and Rick Barnes being on you for every little thing you do wrong. And I think it messes with them. And I wonder if that's not Carey, because Carey was playing very well at the beginning of the season. And then all of a sudden he had like a couple charges. And the next thing you know, he won't hardly shoot anymore. He hardly ever backs anybody down anymore. Uh, it's like he's playing tentative and playing scared to make a mistake. And you can't play that way. I mean, I mean, I remember Anaseki, the guy come in here. I can't remember from maybe Rutgers, maybe double-digit score, maybe 13 a game, I think it was. Come here, couldn't hit a layup. I mean, he was probably shooting 20%, 15% from inside 2 foot. I mean, that's crazy. But and not, you know, yeah, I can't. Guys got to be able to hit shots, so you can't blame coaching for all that. But I'm just saying, I think the pressure that Barnes puts under him might be a little much for the occasional.
For some of them.
Yeah, for some of
them. I remember when Barnes first got here, one of his assistants had an interview where he talked about sometimes they feel like their number one job is to go put their arm around players after the practice.
Right.
To let them know that Barnes don't hate you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And because you can't coach every player the same. Some can't handle it.
Yeah.
Pure and simple. And you take last night. You mentioned Carey, but let's look at Brown for a minute. It got to where in the second half, he got 2 or 3 offensive rebounds within 3 or 4 foot of the basket, and wide open one time I can remember. Nobody within 3 foot of him, and he just turned. His first action is to hesitate and then pass it out.
Yeah, he's 5 foot away from the goal, and his first reaction is to throw it out.
Yeah, unguarded.
Yeah. We didn't play. We didn't play very well at all in the second half. First half, fantastic though. First half.
Well, yeah. Do you want to get in the first half yet, or are we done complaining about the second half yet?
I mean, we're not done complaining about the second half, but
well, we'll talk about some good stuff. Let's talk about Nate Ament.
Looked fantastic, the guy, and I said a few minutes ago, we're not shy about giving our opinions, and we was at one point saying, should we Barnes have to start cutting his minutes, because the guy was not playing well, not offensively, shooting the ball, almost no aspect of his game was playing very well. And then all of a sudden it kicked in and his turnovers went way down. His defense got a little bit better. I mean, I think it's just the confidence. It
is a confidence. I mean, you can see it in his walk, his swagger, his face on the floor.
Yeah.
He'd gotten to where he was shaking. He was. You could tell in his play. But he had some success, and then he followed it up with a little bit more success.
Right.
And now, I mean, you can tell when he's out there, he's thinking, I can go get 20 plus any night.
Yeah. and even though Kentucky kind of played him differently in the second half, I think
He
he
still picked up 10. I mean,
still picked up 10. So I mean, the guy's got. I mean, that's one reason why I feel like this team can do just about anything in the tournament. I mean, we could go to the Final Four, or we could get knocked out in the first round. I mean, uh,
well, if Ament and Gillespie gets help from a third person, a fourth person, this team's going to be hard to beat. They're
yeah,
always going to play defense. They rebound like nobody's business.
right.
If they can get some help on that third or fourth score, the season can still be a remarkable finish.
We need to get a little bit better on the turnovers. We need to get a little bit better on defense, and a little bit more consistency on the offensive side from the other players besides those two. And if any of those things happen, I think we can be lights out because we're so close. I mean, we're close.
Well, it seems like this team.
And free throw shooting. I'm going to throw
Yeah,
that in there.
throw that in there.
I
Too.
mean,
I like the individual parts of this
yeah,
team quite a bit.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like though that the sum doesn't quite yet match up with the individual pieces.
right. Which leads me to believe we at some point it could. You know, sometimes you feel like a team's maxed out on its own court, on the own court presentation, and I don't feel like we have reached the maxed out
No.
version yet. First half against Kentucky
Maybe
is a similar to what I feel like we're capable of.
it is, and I want to give it a little shout out to Nate also. He's on something else. Obviously, he's slim, um, and he can get out physical quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's really improved on that.
Yeah.
And last night, let me tell you, they were grabbing, holding, bear hugging them,
Yeah.
and everything else, and the kid still put up 29 on them.
Right.
Something he couldn't have done a month ago.
Right. Yeah.
He's
getting better every game, pretty much.
He is getting better.
Like, it does feel like he's just gaining more confidence. He's becoming a better shooter. I mean, I'm not sure if we've seen his best game this year. I mean, and that's saying something,
Well, it is. One thing about it, he can score at all three levels. And when he takes that first step sometimes from the outside in, for a guy that's 6'10", 6'11", he'll take that first long stride and he'll just leave his defender behind.
Yeah. I could see him just taking over some games for us. At some point this year, I think he's going to have a 40-point game.
I wouldn't bet against it. His ceiling is phenomenal. You can see why they in a freshman class that may be the best. I don't know when, how long, maybe one of the best.
Fantastic freshman class. Yeah,
he is starting to look every bit the part.
Yeah, he absolutely is. What other stuff we need to talk about as far as game goes, Tim? I mean, we talked about the bad second half. We've talked a little bit about the first half. We're talking about Ament.
Well, let's talk about the future too, Bob. Our next several games are considerably seem like a softer schedule than what we started off with this year.
Yeah, we got 8 games. We played basically 3 top 25 teams, and Vanderbilt twice, which isn't as playing as well as they have been. And we play Alabama. So I could definitely see 6-2. I mean, 7-1 is very possible. If we're able to.
We're going to continue to improve.
And we got to, yeah.
Don't have a bad game somewhere along the way.
Now, what other thing I want to go ahead?
Oh, I was just going to say, just the fact that this our schedule was kind of front loaded this year, so this right here gives us an opportunity to kind of work on ourselves. Some of the things you mentioned, come down the stretch, continue to get more confidence, given an opportunity for a third guy to step up outside of Nate and Gillespie.
Right.
coming down the stretch.
Right.
Rick's teams normally, gel early, fade late. This
Right.
team seems to be hitting its stride, even given this bad performance, second half performance last night. Seems to be hitting its stride here later in the season. Uh, so the finished product might actually hit around tournament time this year.
Good. There was one other thing about the game that I forgot about. I wanted to mention is how in the world do you have Maury Evans down low on the most important free throw uh, of the game? Uh, how does that happen? I mean, if we get the only chance of winning this game is get that rebound, and you got a guard down there. I mean, I don't know how that happened.
Well, there was some puzzling substitutions late in the game. I thought to begin with.
We seem to be a little bit. I don't know if the players lost their mind, if Barnes was panicking or what, but he seemed more animated than normal. Which I guess if you're losing a lead, I guess that would make you more animated. I guess too. So
Well, when you
yeah,
shot like we did on the inside, that'd make me very animated. I'd probably be animated in the locker room because I probably would have lost my mind, got kicked out of the game.
yeah, probably.
Uh,
But I wanted to throw that in there. Uh, that was something I noticed in the game that really blew my mind.
Oh yeah, I mean when you saw him
Replay.
there, you're thinking, why is he there?
Right, yeah.
And then when they get the rebound, well, I just say there might have been some words come out of my mouth.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. Right.
that I probably wouldn't have been too proud of.
Right.
But being proud of, we do have a few good things right now to be proud of down
We do.
there, Bob.
We do.
Let's talk about let's shout out to Karen Weekly's Lady Vols softball team real fast.
Yeah, they playing in a little tournament this weekend. Went 5-0. Only allowed a combined 2 runs. They beat a BYU team that was just outside the top 25, 10-0. Beat number 21 Liberty 6-1, Rutgers 9-1, Boston College 6-0, and beat number 5 Oregon 2-0. Looked fantastic. They got Nebraska next week. They play.
They're top 10, right?
They are. They're number 9, and they play UCLA is in that bunch. They got. I think
They're number 10.
Number 10. Yeah. Impressive team that looks like the ceiling could be as high as it could possibly be. I mean, they have some freshmen playing in the middle of that lineup, Tim, and I mean, how often you see a number 4 team in the country with 2 freshmen starting in the middle? It just gives me hope that they're going to progress and get better as the season goes on.
Well, one thing about it, whenever you have Pickens on the mound, you got a good chance to be in that ball game.
Absolutely. And one of the freshmen was catcher, and I mean, she gunned the girl down right off the bat against Oregon. I mean, they had one of their Oregon's fastest players they had, and I think she was 4-0 on steal attempts going into that, and she got perfect shot to the second base there, and it wasn't even close. Got the girl easily. If you get that kind of action from your catcher, and actually she's hitting third, so she must be a pretty good hitter too. You got some players.
Well, speaking of players, Bob, we're about to see what kind of players the men's team has. Josh Elander's taking over for Tony V, and we had some scrimmaging this weekend and starting up for real next weekend, right?
That's right. I think his team, Tim, is going to be just as good as the others. Honestly, I believe if we're preseason ranked number 13, I believe if Tony V was here, we'd be in that top 2 or 3 teams in the country preseason rank. We've got a solid team.
Super deep team.
Really, a very deep team. I don't know if we have as many first round draft picks. I don't know if we got a CMO maybe, that kind of guy out there. I'm not sure, but Henry Ford might be. Blaine Brown, Levi Clark showed flashes of being outstanding last year. You have a lot of that freshman class from last year that looked fantastic. Clark, Abernathy, Marin, Lawless, Newstrom, uh, Hunter High, Tegan Coons. A lot of guys who looked fantastic, just not quite good enough. I fully expect a big jump out of those kids this year. Uh, and then when you got the transfers and Ford and Brown and uh, London Mack, Evan Blanco, um, there's a lot to like about this team. And to kind of tell you how deep they are, Tim, to give you a good example, you have Garrett Wright, who's a little banged up right now, but should be back in the next week or two. He was a transfer catcher, outfielder from Bowling Green. Mac, defensive player of the year, was batting over 400, and we don't know if he's going to start for us. And if that's not bad enough, and that's a catcher, and you got Trent Grindlinger, who was probably the second best freshman we got, who was a catcher. Uh, I mean, we've been kind of thin at catcher a lot in the past. That shouldn't be with those two guys and Stone Lawless, which has played fantastic, hit a couple home runs in the last week or two. Uh, Catcher, one way or another,
Should be a lot better this year.
Yeah, should be a strength of the team, where it has been a weakness a lot of the last few years.
Well, I know going into the season, there seems to be like there's still a few jobs up in the air.
Oh yeah,
a lot of competition.
Shortstop, Antigua. Can he? It's always his defense has been really good. It's the bat that's got to be improved. You can't have a guy batting in the 200s, low mid 200s, and if it's bad, you got to replace him. But defensively, he's your best shortstop. If it ain't him, it's Marin. But yeah,
I got
several spots. Yeah, go ahead.
Question for you, Bob.
Yeah.
No Frank Anderson this year.
Right.
How's that pitching staff looking?
Very good, I feel like, Tim. You got Tegan Coons, Landon Mack as your Friday, Saturday starters. Not sure which one's which at this point. Evan Blanco's probably your lefty Sunday starter. They feel really good about those three. I feel like Brandon Arbison could be a starter if you needed him to be. Played really good at the end of last year. And superstar freshman Cam Appenzeller would not shock me at all at some point during the season if he was to break that lineup. And if he's not, he is going to play a lot.
What about the rest of the bullpen? We got.
So that's one thing I like about this lineup, Tim. We got some different kind of guys. I guess if I was putting together a team, I would want some hard throwers as my starters, and my bullpen to be just totally different, so that it's just going to be hard. At times, over the last few years, we'd throw a guy who was throwing 98 and throw another guy behind him that was throwing 98. And I guess, I mean, it's worked out pretty good.
Well, most people, just can't hit that if it
Right.
continues to come at them.
Yeah.
Sometimes it slows down, obviously, as the arm gets tired. But if you bring another guy in off the bullpen, that's it's constant. But it does help to have some different looks, because you can get in a groove against one thing, and something else will mess you up.
Yeah, I mean, you got, like, for instance, this year you got Frederick, submariner kind of guy. Handy's a lefty that's got a little bit of a different delivery. Krenzel has a good sinker. Bo Rudy, transfer in. His stuff looks a little bit like I can't think of the guy's name now. Our star pitcher last year from Ole Miss transfer. But it has a fastball that tends to be very deceiving. But I mean, the team looks great. I mean, I feel really good about this team.
Well, obviously, you said a moment ago you thought it'd be a top three-ish type team if Tony V's if the name hadn't changed at the top of
Yeah.
the lineup.
Big year. You mentioned this to me, and I totally agree. Big year for
Elander,
Elander in that he needs to show
there's not going to be a step back.
a drop off. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Where is the potential for a drop off? Well, what if you look at this team? Do you see anything that's kind of like, I'm a little worried about this. This could be a problem down the road.
It'd be nitpicking probably, but I don't feel like we probably have enough left-handed pitchers. Blanco's a lefty, Handy's a lefty, but out of your top 9 pitchers, your top only 2 lefties. You'd much rather have. I mean, you'd really like to have 5 lefties out of your top 9. Really, it's always preferably to have probably more lefties than righties, and only having 2 out of your top 9, not ideal. But it probably means that your Handy, who's generally is your one of your top bullpen guys, is probably going to see a lot of action.
Yeah, a lot of action.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out soon if it's going to be enough. They get started up next week against Nicholls State.
That's right. I look forward to it. I'll be watching them quite a bit this year, every chance I get. I always love watching a good product Tennessee Vols team. I'll be very interested to see what Elander does this year. I hope we bring it up another national championship. I think we can do it.
Well, the roster's there, I think.
I think so. It's just going to be. It might be a roster where, and it happens quite a bit. This might be a roster where you have some just different lineup come into the season than what you got at the beginning of the season.
Well, it could be because there's going to be a lot of battling on this for certain jobs throughout the season.
Well, I was talking about the strength of the team. Talking about the Garrett Wright being so good. You got the JUCO player from just down the road
Water
here,
State.
Water State.
Matt.
Tyler Matt was won the JUCO Triple Crown, and this guy's probably not going to be playing much. I mean, he's probably behind on the DH spot, probably the second guy for that DH spot. But then again, when Garrett Wright comes back, he very well could be in line for a DH spot or catcher spot. So there's a lot of guys. They're like, man, it's hard to keep this guy out of the lineup. And I think I've even heard Elander say that, make me have to play you.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes having a multitude of players can keep you from kind of gelling, I guess, might not be the best word for it, but coming together as a team quite as quickly, get all on the same groove. But of all the problems I would have, it is having too much talent is the one I will choose over about any other.
Yeah. Well, Tim, I think that's about it for this episode. Guys, remember to like, subscribe, comment, hit that
Notification bell?
Notification bell. Yeah. That's the thing I thought we hit. Not by something else. But appreciate it, guys. Leave a comment. Let us know what you're thinking about our video. Any questions, any comments. We love to have any kind of feedback. We appreciate you and look forward to our next video.
I agree 100%. Good feedback. Put it toward me. Bad feedback, put it toward Bob.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, go Big Orange.
Go Vols.